Hello. Tonight I am going to finally finish the week's worth of uploads that I have performed in a commentary that I recently kind of thought about when I was listening to Mike Cernovich on the Rubin Report. And in this commentary, in this interview that Rubin Report usually conducts, Mike Cernovich was talking a lot about redemption or some shit like that in the middle of it, and it got me thinking. And I've been thinking this because ever since like the Tim Pool, Jack Dorsey debate on Joe Rogan, and some certain people like Sargon of Akkad following up. And is it possible to actually have some reputational redemption? When I say this, I am talking about, can you get up after your reputation has taken a giant hit? We have certain examples out there currently, like Andy Signore with his brand new channel, Popcorn Planet. Now, I did not follow the guy originally on Screen Junkies. I was never in the movie fights. I was never into the CinemaSins brand or the Screen Junkies brand, in the sense that I would follow the people behind it, but I did know what Honest Trailers was and shit like that, and he was apparently really instrumental in that. And to me, what I find super fascinating about his return to the spotlight is that he is truly a changed man. You know, he is not the same guy who apparently, according to people who actually watched his programming, he was kind of a dick. He kind of like was not the likable person of the group. And now I say he's got like this kind of weird charm where it's like acknowledging I have a lot to atone for, but I'm gonna hold my head up and just try my damnedest. And to me, that is a real big wow factor of like, you know, oh man, you know, this guy was clearly at rock fucking bottom, and now he is back on the rise, back on the prowl, and actually doing better content than he did before. You know, some of those culture versions of Change My Mind videos that he's done recently are actually really great. And I don't know if he is like Crowder, to which you can't change his mind. He says that he actually holds these opinions and would like to have a conversation in which someone actually changes his mind. But to me, what I find really interesting about his redemption is his openness to talk to people who did not like him previously, and what his past self would have probably called the other side. And that's interesting to me. That's really fucking interesting, because, you know, especially in entertainment, you live in a bubble. Especially in Los Angeles, you live in a much smaller bubble. You know, most of the country doesn't think like you. You're on a fucking another wavelength of idiocracy and progressivism, and just downright narcissism and neuroticism, that it's probably not good for large clusters of people to be congregating over there, as well as the large clusters of people who hold power and yet share the same ideology. That, to me, like I've said in previous videos, is a big no-no. But what I find really interesting is that in order to start his redemption, he had to get away from there. You know, he had to leave LA, because obviously no one's gonna back him, because they're so into this cancel culture shit that they're just not gonna really support their quote-unquote friend in his most desperate hour. And you know, we have people out there like Roseanne Barr, who said this shit about Valerie Jarrett and lost her TV show, and it's clearly because the ABC executives are a bunch of diversity hires You know, they're just fucking doing this kind of nonsense so that they don't get fucking raped by 12 psychos on Twitter. And to me, what I find truly bizarre is that she didn't really do anything wrong. She mistook a African American woman for a Planet of the Apes character, who, she does look like the it's the female doctor that Charlton Heston's with at the end, like the midsection of the original movie, and the character that Helena Bonham Carter plays in the Tim Burton remake. So don't you fucking tell me that she doesn't look like that, because all it takes is a little special effects makeup. And then, like, you know, most people think she's another fucking race, or just tanned, like just a tan fucking Real Housewife. She's not actually black. You know, and to me, that's just like a big wow factor of just, you gotta be fucking kidding me with this kind of shit. But as far as the redemption goes, you know, if you're on the left, you get a redemption, but it's not really as great of a redemption as it looks. It's more like if this isn't really that bad, we're just gonna wait until everything dies down and then you can have your old shit back. Like James Gunn. James Gunn was the big example of someone who I think got what he asked for, because he was totally for deplatforming Roseanne. And then, of course, because he has a bit of a checkered past, I'd say. You know, he was a very edgy kind of guy in the 2000s. He did a really fun series called PG Porn that used to be on Spike.com. That's super funny. It's like really fucked up. Like, okay, if you ever saw Howl the Misinterpreted Porn Star, it's like that, only with a little more violence, you know? There's no sex, although there are porn stars in the actual comedy videos. But it's more like a Funny or Die sketch before that existed, in that it just takes it and twists it, and you're not given what you actually thought you were gonna get. And then so yeah, he doesn't really do a mea culpa, but Disney hires him like fucking 9 months later to go back on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 because he's their golden boy on that franchise. They probably didn't really want to replace him. But yeah, I don't think that guy deserves shit. And it's because he had the audacity to be like, well, Roseanne said a really bad thing and she should totally be let go. And then, you know, he expects people to fucking come to his defense. I wish he did have an Andy Signore moment where his life was totally destroyed and he realized that everything he believed in was wrong. Because, folks, let me tell you, the backlash of the Me Too movement is how we red pill the normies. We're going to get them, and we're going to get them by getting them when they're at their worst and say, hey man, I have a path for you back to the road of success. And if you want it, you have to perform a serious mea culpa because you said some really bad shit that you definitely need to atone for. But it had nothing to do with your actions, and it had everything to do with your past behavior. You have to grow as a person, and then people will really accept you. And I think that's why Andy Signore's on his way to 100,000 subscribers. I think he really does realize that he fucked up. He ruined his family, ruined his marriage, ruined his career, ruined his livelihood and his business operations. And now he is totally on the beaten path to, you know, attaining the same success twice, you know, pulling the Quartering, where Quartering has multiple 100,000 subscriber channels. And, you know, you don't have to be like a mundane man. You don't have to struggle because you're a boring piece of shit. All you have to do is find something unique about yourself and just start talking and just start going. Now, to me, if I were to ever be in that kind of situation, I would pray to the gods that I would get a shot at redemption. Because believe me, you don't want to be destitute because some fucking vengeful people don't want you to make money. Okay? That to me is like worse than killing yourself or being killed. You know, it's like, it's literally like the financial equivalent of living in limbo. You know, I can't have a bank account because I'm a conservative. It's like that kind of shit. So I do think that, yes, there is a shot to redemption, but, you know, you have to grow as a person in order for people to take that shot seriously. You know, you can't just immediately try to redeem yourself. That's fucking comical. You know, no one's gonna buy it, and everyone's gonna think you're selling them a bill of goods, because the people who have done that in the past and didn't really learn anything from what they did wrong. And now we have this cancel culture that literally seeks to end people's lives while letting them still keep their life, but they can't really return to anything. So I think, you know, the whole backlash of cancel culture and the Me Too movement and shit like that will be a severe red pilling that will lead up to next year in the 2020 election. I think that, you know, if we continue down this path, more people will just wake up on their own, on their individual actions, to take responsibility for solving their problems. And for me, I think that's a great thing. And for the movement, I think that's a great thing. Because now you have more people to include when it's time to go guns blazing at the left and just be like, hey, you know, you have participated in this culture that seeks to rob people of their lives because of one bad action, one bad misdeed. Why don't you realize that you're bad people and you should probably cancel yourselves, you know? But on that note, if you do want a shot at redemption, all you have to do is strive towards it. Take some time off, reevaluate your life, fix your situation. Because if you don't, you're just going to look like a fraud. And to those out there who want to just destroy everything, destroy us, tread lightly, because unlike you, we actually have a path to redemption.